Welcome to the show, and we are glad you found time to be with us once again. And today we bring you yet another returnee. He has seen it all, both abroad and in Kenya, and the two worlds have shaped what he is doing now. Quite daring, and to get a feel of it, here is the teaser.
A lot of people who sell land do not actually own the land that they are selling. And when you talk to a lot of people in diaspora, they will tell you even their own relatives have conned them.
Andrew Muthee is a daring returnee after working in the US and South Africa in the corporate world. He ventured into land selling partly because of his personal experience. He was conned in a fake land deal.
We have never seen the title for that plot.
He is the CEO of AMG Realtors.
Diaspora is 80% of our sales today. I started selling cars, which I failed miserably.
Also ahead, my magical Kenya, and due to public demand, today I will revisit my experience on Lake Turkana. Straight into Andrew Muthee's story. Conned while working abroad and dared come back to his motherland to begin his own land selling business. Just how did this happen? Take a look. Which countries have you been to?
Wow. An interesting question. Just to explain to you how I got to abroad, I started my career in a company called Procter & Gamble. It's an American company. They deal with Ariel, Always, Vicks Kingo. For those of us who are a bit older, you remember Vicks Kingo. Then I went to Colgate-Palmolive, also an American company, and they're the ones who sell Colgate, of course Palmolive, Protect Soap. So I was employed here in Kenya. I started as a salesperson, and I ended up going to both New York to work there for a while and South Africa. So those are the two places I've worked. However, I've visited probably over 50 countries. Because primarily I used to manage East and West Africa in the sales department, which was 41 countries in Africa. I did sales training all over the world, so I went to very many countries to train people on how to sell.
In New York, what exactly were you doing there?
So I went to New York 2006, June, I think on the 10th, Saturday. My wedding was on a Thursday. The previous Thursday, which was on 8th of June, so it's a very memorable time. I went there to be in the sales department, the global sales department, and I was in a department called indirect sales. I landed from Kenya straight into an apartment in Manhattan, and you've been there, you know what happens there, you know how busy it is. Yes, it's like living in the middle of Moi Avenue, where life never stops. I was there for a year. Then I was asked to move to South Africa.
And Andrew, there's this thing called culture shock. Did you experience it?
The weather, oh my God, yeah, winter. Winter came, and New York is a high-rise building. So what happens? The wind gets in between the buildings. Yes, it's like a pipe. It's actually whistles. You come out headache immediately, the first thing, because of the cold. I really missed home. When you're in America, you're on your own. You really are on your own.
What can you tell people who yearn to just, experience the American dream? Is it all rosy?
I was very fortunate because I was working for a company which had taken me there. So they paid my house. They gave me an allowance, they gave me a salary. So I was very, very fortunate that way. The house I used to live in, the rent alone was higher than my salary. So the cost of living is very high. In fact, what I tell people here in Kenya is that don't think your relative went to America and now is awash with money. I mean, people make a lot of sacrifices. And you pay bills, and the bills are many. Unlike Kenya, where people talk about CRB like a joke, there it is serious business because it affects what you can buy after that. So if your credit score is low, then you cannot purchase a car. Even if you have money, they don't want your money. They want to know your credit score.
Were you keen on investing back home, Andrew?
When we were living with my wife, we had a little bit of saving. And of course now we had been given a little money in the wedding. Yeah? So what had remained, we decided to buy a plot. And we actually gave the money to one of our friends. That was 2006, who was in the land business. And he sold us this plot. And up to today, 2021, we have never seen the title for that plot. And we have never seen the land itself. I can't tell you this is the particular plot. Even when we were in New York, and the little savings that we could make because of the allowances that I used to get, my biggest dilemma was who can I trust this money with? After New York, immediately I went to South Africa. And what I saw in South Africa was that Africa was booming. So I sat and thought that, if Africa is booming, why should I not participate in this boom as an entrepreneur? So I came back, and in March 2011, I resigned. And when I resigned, I did not start AMG immediately. My father used to sell cars, so I started selling cars, which I failed miserably. A friend of mine called me to Nanyuki, and he told me, we have some shambas we are selling here, come and see. So when I went, I fell in love with the place. And so he sold me 1 acre, and I told him, why don't I bring my friends to buy here so that at least we can have a gated community here, kind of. So I could have me and my friends together. And he said, yeah, in fact, for every land that you sell, I'll give you some commission. I said, yeah. Is that so? Yes. Okay, sawa. So I went, sent a write-up to everybody I knew. Out of that, I was able to sell 25 acres, which was just shocking. So this guy was also shocked because I don't think he thought I can sell that much. And then, interestingly now, all those memories I used to have of one day starting a company that sells land came back to me. And that is actually the genesis of AMG Realtors. So this land, I bought it in my name, in my personal name. So I said, okay, what are the things do I need to do so that I keep true to those things I used to dream about? What will make me assure my clients that when you buy land from us or from me, that time it was just me, I was everything, that you'll get your title. So I started studying why businesses that are in the land selling business do not deliver titles. And I quickly discovered that a lot of businesses, what they do is that they enter into almost like a partnership with the owners of the land. So you come, if I find Alex is selling 10 acres at 20 million, I give him a deposit of 2 million. And then I tell him, Alex, allow me to sell this land, and as I sell, I'll be paying you. Alex is happy, he has 2 million. So he says yes. So I start selling the land. But as a human being, what I do is that the money I get, instead of paying Alex, I go and buy another land, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one. But meanwhile, Alex, you are waiting for your 18 million balance, which you are not seeing. The land still belongs to you because I have not completed paying. So what will happen? What happens is you will never transfer it to me. Meanwhile, now customers are calling me, hey, I bought land from you 2 years ago, you have never given me a title. Oh yeah, the surveyor went, there was a small issue, blah, blah, blah. Stories, stories, stories. So that is one of the biggest issues, that the people who are selling land, a lot of people who sell land, not all of them, do not actually own the land that they are selling.
So how different is AMG?
We will only sell land that we own. And it doesn't matter how slowly we are going to move, but we'll be only the land that we have finished paying, the title has been changed into our name, shall we start selling. And then the other thing is subdivision. Subdivision takes time. And then when we buy the land, let us also do the subdivision. So when you're buying the land, the plot that I'm showing you is actually subdivided. And actually the process has been completed. We actually give you a money bank guarantee Money bank guarantee says that if you complete your payment with us, and in 60 days I have not given you your title, and you have signed all the forms, I have the responsibility to return full amount of money to you, full refund, without even cutting one shilling.
Wow, quite engaging and inspiring. We will continue with Andrew Muthee's story right after the break. Welcome back. Today we are featuring Andrew Muthee. He was conned in a fake land deal while working abroad, and he dared come back to his motherland to begin his own land selling business.
When you talk to a lot of people in diaspora, even today, they will tell you, even their own relatives, very close, some even their own parents, sorry to say, have conned them out of their hard-earned money. And let me tell you, life is hard there. It's not easy. I mean, you really, really sacrifice a lot to save. And you send the money home, and and I'm not saying everybody has gone through that, but a lot of people have gone through that. You send to a relative, you send to a friend. Another lady was telling me she sent money through a friend from Germany, and the lady said the bag was stolen. Just very, 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 very scary stories. Alyosho. So I used to say, I started saying, we have to have a way where people can feel safe with sending money home.
Who is your typical client, Andrew?
These are really a normal Kenyan living here or living abroad. We have a lot of ladies who buy from us. Ladies are serious investors, by the way. We have a lot of chamas who also buy from us. Chamas are either ladies, men, or mixed. Generally, it's a normal Kenyan looking to invest, looking to save some money through land.
From my experience and even the statistics we get from the Central Bank of Kenya, Kenyans abroad are really sending money back home. Over 200 billion shillings every year. And I believe one of the areas they're investing in is real estate. So to what extent is the diaspora your market?
Diaspora is 80% of our sales today, or 80% of our revenue is coming from diaspora, and it's a growing market. First of all, being out there, the diaspora wants to invest back home. They are very keen to invest back home. They say, home is always best. East or west, home is always best. So they are very keen to invest back home.
Especially through credible.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the challenge. Getting a credible company or a credible organization that they can put their money in. So we've been able to deliver to them the promise of a title and deliver to them anywhere where they are.
What challenges do you face in your current business?
Of course, it's never smooth. It's never smooth. It's full of challenges, but sometimes you make challenges your friends or your friend, so that because you'll never come out of challenges. Even if you watch people who win the lottery and win $10 million, in fact, they get more problems than when they had they had no money. So challenges are part of life. One of the biggest challenges we face is buying land. Buying, not even selling. Our biggest challenge is buying land, because when you go and do due diligence on land, you find stories and things. And we spend a lot of time doing a lot of due diligence, because we are investing in the land. The land is ours. The land has to be ours before we sell it. So we are not going to put money where we have any suspicion on anything. And we cut out a lot of deals, even for the smallest reason. So let me give you an example. If we come and this is family land and you are selling to us, and one brother is not happy, out of 6, we will cancel that deal.
Which parts of Kenya it's your land or the land you are selling available? Where have you sold so far?
Across Kenya, so we've sold in Nanyuki big time. That accounts for maybe 70% of our sales. Secondly, we have done Nakuru. We've sold in Isinya. We've sold in Emali. Now we are selling in Dry Port, Naivasha Dry Port. This is an inland container depot. I was a diasporian, so to speak. And the diaspora people, they are very good. They know that the money that I'm getting here, wherever I am, in France, in Sweden, in Germany, in America, I need to be investing back home. Because every Kenyan will tell you, one day their dream is to come back home. Most of the Kenyans, they will tell you, I want to go back home one day and settle there. And even if I don't go, I want my kids to go, or I want to own at least something there.
Great. I believe you've been inspired by Andrew Muthee's story. Amazing experience there, home and away. Time now for my Magical Kenya segment. And as I had indicated to you earlier, today I revisit my recent tour on Lake Turkana, and this is due to public demand. Captain John Monte is making routine checks on this 5-seater Cessna C206 that will fly us around Lake Turkana. We are anxious, having been told to brace for a breathtaking but exciting bird's eye view of the lake and its attractions. Captain Monte from Vertical Ventures flies tourists regularly on the Lake Turkana circuit. My cameraman Josephat Ekiru and assistant producer Jeremiah Eregai and I are first-timers, but we are lucky to be accompanied by the managing director of Elia Springs Resort, Rolf Glor, who understands the route and is ready to be our tour guide.
We might fly a bit higher so that we have a good view.
Chakwel, Southern Island, Lokipi, and the windmills towards Rangalani. Welcome aboard.
Within no time, we are airborne. One of the things we notice is just how the lake has swollen, swallowing structures in some places. Lake Turkana, formerly known as Lake Rudolph, is the largest permanent desert lake in the world and the largest alkaline lake in the world. The lake lies in the Kenyan Rift Valley in northern Kenya. 3 rivers, the Omo, Turkana, and Kerio, flow into the lake, but the lake has no outflow. Its only water loss is by evaporation. This is Kerio Delta. It's all smooth so far, though we have been warned to brace for some turbulence at some point as it can get windy. Lake Turkana has several volcanic islands. This is Southern Island. It is the biggest island in the lake, covering nearly 3,900 hectares with loamy shores, muddy bays with extensive bushes. And this is Nabiotum crater, yet another geological marvel in the middle of the lake. A bit windy here, but manageable. Then we overfly Loyangalani, which is located on the Marsabit side of the lake. It is a popular tourist destination in northern Kenya. This is where the El Molo people live, although it is home to Turkana people. El Molo is considered to be the smallest tribe in Kenya. After a 1.5-hour tour in the skies, we land at Loyangalani for lunch. After lunch, the journey continues. This is Sibiloi National Park, yet another signature attraction managed by the Kenya Wildlife Services. As the cradle of mankind, Sibiloi is home to important archaeological sites, including Kobe Fora, where the fossil remains have contributed more to the understanding of human evolution more than any other site on the continent. Sibiloi is a major breeding ground for the Nile crocodile. It has terrestrial wildlife too. Our 3-hour aerial tour of the lake would be incomplete without overflying Central Island, yet another popular site on the lake, a sight to behold. The island, as documented by the Kenya Wildlife Services, is made up of 3 crater lakes, that is the Crocodile Lake, Flamingo Lake and Tilapia Lake. The Crocodile Lake provides a breeding ground for the world's largest concentration of Nile crocodiles. We had planned to fly all the way to the north, but Captain Monte advises that we are running short of time and we have to fly back to Elie airstrip. Nevertheless, this is good enough. What a journey!
We fly under Vertical Ventures, which is our agent company. We are based in Wilson Airport, but we also have a satellite based here in Lodwar and Elie.
Now, flying is high-end. Tourists can reach most of the sites on the lake, including the islands, via boat rides. But that is a story for another day. Amazing. And indeed, there are many unreported beautiful places in Kenya. That's how we end our show. Remember, today we featured Andrew Muthee, who worked in the US and South Africa in the corporate world. And while working abroad, he was conned in a fake land deal. That's what ignited his current business, with the Diaspora being his biggest clientele. On behalf of the entire Champs Media crew, thank you so much for watching and see you again next time.